Entitled. Oh, I think I wanted to watch this.
Oh, I love this.
Oh my God, I love this.
So much, yeah. I really, really like this. Someone getting married.
Not the fun.
When I was born,
Okay, Auntie, I see you.
unfortunately,
Wow, what's her name? In English, you know?
Okay. I love those Nigerian headdress things. What are they called again? Gele, innit? Or something.
my origin,
Even the
that's where
Santander.
I've come from. That's, my origin, that's where I've come from. So one
Yeah, you
can
know,
never
over there, they're
forget
like,
one's
can I call you
roots.
Samantha?
It's like a tree, isn't it?
No, you can't.
If the tree, because if the tree,
I want to go to Nigeria.
so
That looks regal, isn't it? Look, she's just going through the street. But it looks like Dorset.
It's the power for me, honestly. She's literally just up the streets of Peckham right now.
you
She
see,
should. As she
yeah,
should.
back home.
I always want that. Sometimes just give me a horse. Let me ride up the road. When he carries this horse by himself. I do the riding part. I just want to. So who's going to take care of it for you? You?
It's weird. I don't know how I can explain.
Oh, wow. She's literally riding a horse.
I know. You don't see that every day, do you? Imagine like seeing that as something you just have to stop and be like,
Definitely.
wow.
Definitely.
In a way,
Yeah, exactly.
You see
It's not
Auntie
every
on
day.
a horse.
living here.
One side Nigerian, the other side British. No, lovey Nigerian, through and through. Imagine seeing that in the street though, like just a woman on her thing, just on the horse like that.
Don't do things that we do in Nigeria. Or even people that, our children are getting married or having things that we do in Nigeria. Or even people that our children are getting married or having a celebration.
You have to maintain that culture, man.
It's really catchy. I don't know how to say it, like describe it. But it really captures her, the way she's
And the
like
people that make
on the
the country,
horse,
not just the country makes
just
itself.
riding through there's like a Peckham High Street. It's Peckham High Street. That's what I was thinking.
And it's the people that make the country, not just the country makes itself.
I love her gele, man.
And it's the people that make the country, not just the country makes itself.
Her gele is really regal.
It's like London. It's the people that make it.
Like, and everyone's just watching her like she's like a goddess or a queen. Like.
So when did they film this then? When did they take a horse to Peckham and just ride up the road like this?
What is that?
I've been trying to see if
Yeah,
I'm like,
Do you know this place? She's that girl, she's in the UK and she's really proud of where she's come from. She's come to like show everybody that this is me, this is where I've come from. I'm coming on a horse. Like I feel like also riding a horse kind of symbolises some sort of position.
She's a queen. Oh my gosh. My kids do that now. Put their little foot in my big shoes.
Little foot. So beautiful. Look at her.
She remember to be proud of him. That's true. Be proud.
Be proud.
oh my god, their little faces. Look at her smile.
Get out the baby.
The shoes, please.
Big up Nigerian.
Is that it?
Entitled.
For me, it's the ending with the two little girls in the traditional like head wrap and like in their mum's shoes, like literally stepping into into your mum's shoes and carrying that on. I think is so beautiful. That's definitely my favourite part.
I think when they went in close up on her face with the gele, that was, for me, I think that was the most regal bit, just seeing her face and, like watching her on that horse, and she looked, you know, even just the way she was sitting, her head was up and her shoulders were back, and you know, she obviously felt like a queen, so she came across like a queen. So I think that was, for me, is very, and that's what I say to people as well, you know, sit up, man, like put your shoulders back, you know, fix up your face, like, you know, let's not, like, it's not doom and gloom, like I'm not looking down there, I'm looking out, I want to. So I think for me it was that bit, and I thought, oh, that made me kind of take notice of her.
I just also like how it captured like different shots of her, like her headwear, her like shoes, and then like when she was like translating the meaning of her name, and she said it with so much pride. That's what I liked.
Yeah,
so.
that was cute too. Yeah.
I think just seeing her on the horse, like when you first saw her like appear on the horse in her gillet, like in the full traditional attire. I would say the last bit where you see her on the horse, but the camera kind of it zooms out, so you get like a wide perspective.
Yeah.
Like, to just see her on this horse in the middle of, you know, like a London high street. I would say that, you know, she's like, I'm saying I'm here and I'm present and I will not be ignored. My culture will not be ignored. My history will not be ignored. I think that was the most powerful part for me.
Mine was just her on the horse, going down the street, and it's like empty, so it's when there's no people. That was nice.
Mine was like when she was literally on the horse riding on Peckham High Street, because first of all, I mean, there's no cars, and that high street is always with cars. But just the fact that, you know, everyone stopped and stared at her.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's just a great shot, like, just to see, and the way the camera kind of like focused on her as well, while she was on the horse, just like looking just so queenish, like just proper proud, strong. I was like, okay, that's my scene. That's just what I love about this part.
Just in Peckham Ride, just riding a horse like that. That's crazy. I loved it. It was amazing. Great scenes, incredible scenes. Also, whoever tied her gilly, like, wow, because that was wow. Artistry, wow.
I love that.
Yeah.
It is, she looks regal, she looks like a queen. And you know, I think that anyway, when I see them Nigerian women in those geles, I just think, yeah, queen, like queen, yeah.
Proud to be Nigerian. Exactly. I think it's like a very powerful kind of image. And I think especially the last scene where they give the children like her shoes and her gele. I think it's powerful to like to have to remember that, you know, just because the younger generations we weren't born in Nigeria, we still very much have our roots and our origins there.
We're Nigerian,
you know,
100%. I say that before I'm British. 100% pride watching the film. It was so interesting, like it was so intriguing, on just like the way she was just riding the horse. I think it's so different, like you don't really see that, especially like a Nigerian woman.
That dress and the gele.
Yeah, and just ride a horse. It's just something that you don't really see just anywhere, to be honest.
That makes me really emotional at the end. I don't know why. It's just like...
Definitely the music. They just zones out.
Yeah.
And then see the little kids. I feel like just seeing like the next generation.
The next generation, yeah. And they've got that knowledge of their culture and their heritage, and they can move that. They can take that with them and know who they are.
She said like one side is Nigerian, the other side. I don't relate personally. This Britain isn't for me, but definitely like remembering that the heritage aspect of it. And making us pass down to like younger generations, I think is very important.
100%, making sure that the younger generations don't forget where they come from. And starting a few years being like, I'm British babe, none of that. We're Nigerians with Nigerian heritage.
Yeah, I think it kind of also reminds me of my mum as well, because I know that sometimes when people come, you know, from other countries, they really like to bring their culture, but like my mum like raised me up and taught me the language and just lots of values, you know. So I like that. I really do like that.
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant short film, and like you were saying, like it's kind of like the culture, like Nigerian culture, is like on a horse, and it's kind of like the royalty and bringing that in, and people just can't help but look, and you know, I think it's brilliant.
But you know, I've got 2 little boys now, so I know that if I don't instill it in them, then it's just going to be washed away. So it's very, very important to make sure that you carry on your culture, whatever that may be.
I like what she was saying throughout, just the scenes, just about, you know, knowing where you're coming from, like, your native country. She's like a really proud Nigerian woman. I love that. And then I like how she like also talks about being Nigerian and British at the same time. Because you don't really, some people don't really want to, they kind of pick just one side. But I like the fact that she kind of involved both sides, like the whole having Nigerian culture, but then also the British culture. Like I love that part's nice.
I would say the distinction that she was making between being a Nigerian and being British is something I very much related to. Like, you know, because like, you know, your parents, like, they give you discussions and they give you like life lessons and stuff like that. You know, like my parents were talking about like, well, my dad specifically, because he's Nigerian one, talking about being Nigerian, but then at the same time, you know, what that means to be Nigerian, but in a British kind of community. So I think I related myself to that and the kind of split.
Definitely, especially when she explained how she's from two places, she's Nigerian and she's British. Like, obviously coming from like my country and being raised here, it's like a merge of two cultures, and I feel like it's a challenging thing to balance, but once you get that balance,
it's really special.
Exactly.
It's really special.
Sometimes it's frustrating, but sometimes like the rules, like cultural rules, and you have to, the guy doubled on the ground. I was like, wow, he's really bending down on the outside streets, but for auntie on the horse. But like I think it's things that like carrying over certain traditions and cultures and bringing them here, but also having that balance between like, this is where we come from, but this is where we are now. So kind of having to strike that balance between following the rules of the society that we're in today, but also bringing our heritage over and not letting that get lost.
Yeah. No matter at what age you come to this country, or if you've been here for generations, it allows a sense of like familiarity, and that you always have like a home, although it's away from home, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's so good. Yeah, it's like you have that. There'll be that community that feels like your home away from home.
And in some way, it makes you feel like protected, if that makes sense.
But I mean, I've always kind of identified as a Nigerian and British at the same time, though. Like, I've never really separated that. I've always said I'm British Nigerian. Like, that's something I both kind of understand, because I identify with British culture, but then I still kind of have the knowledge and background of being Nigerian, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's connecting back to your roots.
It's just me, I think I make an effort with the Jamaican culture, because the British culture is there, isn't it? It's what I live by. It's what we are. You know, it's out there.
Being able to celebrate it, because I feel like, especially in Britain, it's very hard to celebrate, you know, blackness,
where you come from, without hearing, why don't you go back to where you come from?
Like,
it's so great.
Staying connected with family that's back home, going back, you know, visiting, experience the Nigerian vibe, the food, the music, culture.
I will make sure that I will instill out my culture, because it is mine, you know, as far as I'm concerned. It's not my husband's, and he does his bit with his culture, but I'm going to instill my Jamaican culture into my children, and I hope that they carry that on with their children.
She seems so confident as well, like the way she literally like, it's like a queen, and like when you're like on like something quite majestic, like a horse anyways, and just everyone looking at her like literally she's like a queen, like she is a queen anyway, so yeah.